Hello, this is Russell Hawley coming to you from the Tate Geological Museum at Casper College in Wyoming. And if you're anything like me, and I know I am, you enjoy collecting plastic dinosaur models. And if you're a lot like me, then you may even continue doing that into adulthood. And if you're a whole lot like me, you've probably asked yourself at some point or another, how much do these models look like the actual living dinosaur? So that's exactly what I'm going to be addressing today. How accurate are these models? Now, I have no intention of picking on models like this. This is a Triceratops, and it's obviously not intended to be accurate. It's just intended to be cute, and it succeeds quite well on that score. But there are other models out there that are obviously designed to look accurate, and they'll even sometimes include the words scientifically accurate or museum quality on the packaging. So that's what we're looking at today. How accurate are they actually? Well, in order to assess that, what you need to do, first of all, is look at the dinosaur's skeleton. Look at the actual bones that these reconstructions are based on. This is, of course, Triceratops, the first dinosaur discovered in Wyoming. And one thing that's very important to note about Triceratops is the very great length of the ilium, the bone that attaches to the muscles that move the femur back and forth. It's very, very long. So that shows us that there would have been large muscles running from the front of the ilium to the knee, and large muscles running from the back of the ilium to the back of the knee on this animal. The size of the olecranon and of the deltopectoral crest all give us an idea of the proportions of the arm of the animal. The triceps muscle, for example, will attach to the olecranon and then run up here to the proximal portion of the humerus and to the scapula. And finally, because Triceratops is a plant eater, we know that it had a big belly, because it takes a lot of guts to be a plant eater. That's literally true. So instead of giving it a sunken greyhound-style belly, we give it a nice big belly with plenty of room there for intestines and other plant digesting equipment. So that's the overall shape of the Triceratops body. And if we look at a couple of models here, we can see that this one has gotten it right, spectacularly right, with a very large, broad thigh attaching to the ilium up there and describing the very triangular shape of the upper part of this dinosaur's leg. And overall, the shape of this guy's body is much closer to what we'd expect from looking at the skeleton than this one here. This is part of the Carnegie collection. And then this one is made in China, but I recognize the shape. This is based off of a Batot Triceratops that was originally sculpted by Greg Wenzel. So credit where credit's due. Next, we turn to the most popular dinosaur, Tyrannosaurus Rex. So here's a Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton, and the things that jump out at you on this guy are the very large size of the head and the very great depth of the torso. And once again, a long ilium implies powerful muscles running those hind legs. Now, here are a couple of Tyrannosaurus models. This one is from the British Museum of Natural History. This was manufactured by Invicta Plastics. And then this is another Greg Wenzel sculpt, the Batot Tyrannosaurus Rex model. This one, as cool as it looks, has a head that's too small, the chest is too shallow, and it's covered all over with bony armor plates. That's a bit of a mistake. When the original Tyrannosaurus Rex specimen was found in Wyoming, there were bony armor plates mixed in with the bones, and at the time that this model was made, they assumed that those were part of the T-Rex skeleton. Naturally, they turn out to be bony armor plates of an ankylosaurus that had gotten washed in and mixed up with the Tyrannosaurus Rex's bones. So a little bit of a mistake there. Also, at the time that they made this model, nobody had found a complete Tyrannosaurus Rex tail. So people tended to reconstruct it with enough vertebrae to bring the length of the animal up to a nice even 50 feet. Turns out that's too long of a tail. When more complete Tyrannosaurus Rex tails were discovered, they were found to be shorter in proportion to the size of the animal. Greg Wenzel's model here has gotten all those proportions spot on, and indeed this remains probably the best Tyrannosaurus Rex model that's out there. Although it's been discontinued, so you can't get them for love or money anymore. Keep your eyes open when you go to a garage sale. Now here is a partial skeleton of a Parasaurolophus. This is the most popular of the duckbill dinosaurs, or hadrosaurs, at least to look at plastic toys. There's more plastic toys of Parasaurolophus than any other hadrosaur species. So this is based, this reconstruction is based on the specimen that's at the Royal Ontario Museum. Note in particular the very slender forelimbs and the strong down curve at the front part of the spine right there. Now here we've got, once again, the Batot Parasaurolophus, very nicely capturing the proportions of those limbs and that very strong downturn in the forward part of the spine. Now here's a Carnegie Parasaurolophus from the Carnegie collection, and here the proportion and posture of the body do not reflect that of the actual animal as well. Here's something that these guys couldn't have helped, and that is a greater study that was done of the skin texture of the hadrosaur dinosaurs. In well-preserved hadrosaurs that have well-preserved skin impressions, we find that there are vertical folds in the shoulder region, and in many species, possibly including Parasaurolophus, there's a ribbon of skin running down the middle of the back, and in some species, again, possibly including Parasaurolophus, that skin fold deepens and attaches to the back of the crest. So it's very likely that this is what the soft tissue anatomy of Parasaurolophus looked like, rather than this right here. So again, Batot for the win. Over here, Stegosaurus, another very popular dinosaur. And we've got not only a side view of Stegosaurus right here, but also a top view that was drawn by Greg Paul. And you can note here the overall narrowness of the dinosaur. It's a very slab-sided sort of dinosaur. And what I'd like to point out on this drawing here is that the largest plates are over the hips and over the base of the tail right there. So if you look at all of that, this one from the British Museum of Natural History, and again produced by Invicta Plastics, is more accurate, especially in that very, very large plate over the base of the tail, than this one from the Carnegie collection, and even more so if you look at them from up above. Here, the British Museum model has more captured that long and thin look. The Carnegie model is a bit too plump, a bit too thick through the middle here. So in this case, I'm going to have to give the win to the British Museum of Natural History.